Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans. What we do around here, what we continue to do, is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental, and emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can. Continue to do that for your listening pleasure, and ultimately, hopefully, it leads in a positive direction. In any event, we continue to connect in that way for your listening pleasure with over 2,000 of the, or 1,500 at least, of these available. And as we continue to add, hope you're here. This is kind of signs of gaslighting. Gaslighting is one of those things where someone makes you doubt your own transparency of being able to make your own decisions, makes you doubt your own judgment, and makes you wonder about the long-term connectivity of you being able to protect your own interest. And so what are some signs of gaslighting and how to deal with it? How to deal with it? Coaching can be super valuable in that because it's a reflectability mirror in being able to identify the things that you may be believing or doing that aren't necessarily in your best interest. And again, that's important. So a couple of things to look at there. Questioning your own mental well-being is something they're going to do. They're going to focus on what's wrong with you, not what's right with you. So if someone is hypercritical of your situation, they're going to constantly be concerned about making you the one who has issues and not taking any personal responsibility. They're going to make you question whether or not you have the authenticity nor or the ability to know what's really going on. They're going to try and make you see things from a different perspective constantly, and also they're going to play the victim, like you haven't done anything, to them, or you may not think you have, but they're always going to reword and rewire and kind of remap how you're seeing them, and ultimately they're going to make you dependent on them, which means isolation and making you believe that they're the only person you can trust in your entire life is another factor. So if you are feeling isolated, you may want to consider the potential that you've been gaslit, because isolation and over dependency are two key markers for those who are trying to use gaslighting to their advantage. They will blame you for things that are not your fault or that don't feel like your fault. People outside of you, your friends, your family, people that have known you for a long time, they may look at you and see changes. You may be more apologetic. You may feel the need to defend yourself using defensive language versus progressive language. So defensive language is going to be heavy in rationalization. They are going to consistently minimize your involvement with things, and ultimately it's important to see that their only real interest in you as a person is when they can benefit from you, and that continual benefit is something that they only care about in the moment. In other words, they're not necessarily invested in building the relationship with you. They're invested in identifying the ways at which you can benefit them, and they're not really looking to equalize the relationship. A healthy relationship that doesn't use gaslighting has equality in it, whereas an unhealthy and kind of unbalanced relationship is more about one person benefiting over the other, and you can identify the value that's there. And again, when you have the ability to do that, you begin to ultimately see the connectivity there as well. Again, not taking personal responsibility is another great sign, because these individuals are always going to want to feel like they've never gotten a break, or they don't get breaks, or bad things happen to only them, and that question, that curiosity, that struggle is certainly there. And so when we begin to understand the value in that way, and when we begin to understand the value in that directive, we begin to be super able to protect ourselves, and that self-protection is important as well. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground and your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.